Hey, it's me, Flango. It's Christmas break for me. I'm in university, obviously, but we've got like a month off, and I thought, hey, I'm gonna get back into Domain. So, you know, um, as I do so, I like to kind of, I don't know, I find it making videos is fun, and also gotta, do something to promote the game, so and keep the community alive. So yeah, I'm gonna get back into making some vids for the game, and I've actually got a list of like all the decks that I wanna mess around with. I'm gonna actually just uh, delete all my decks basically and remake a deck from every type, all the themes, and try to find the best thing. I'm gonna remake every terrain deck, try to find the best terrain deck. I'm gonna play around with stuff like, just a king plus only spells, refine all the decks that I deem meta, maybe make like a list. Um, maybe like try to get every single king and every like even remotely viable king. Um, why is Oh yeah, okay. And try to use every like any pretty much every minion as a king. Like Psycho Fiend King, we can do that. Voidbringer King. That's a little bit weird, but I think it's acceptable. Stuff like that. So just gonna try everything. Um, and then first, what I want to do is actually just look at all the new cards that have come out and do a quick review of all those things. And today I thought, hey, why not look at the newest of cards, Astaroth? So, attack 7, 0 cost. That's putting it at, actually, let's just sort by cost here and get a bunch of 0 costs. I hope I have all the cards. I know there was like a giveaway and I might not have everything, but, actually, I want to sort by attack. Sorry. So, what is this putting it at? 7 attack is what you can expect out of a Masked Primal, a Crystal Avatar, Cerberus. Okay, so this is Parasitic Wasp is the closest card. Same cost, same attack. What you are getting is instead of the swarm effect, or the parasite effect, I should say, you're getting it was 23 health, so you're getting pretty thick amount of health. Actually, is there something else? It's 29, sorry. Oh yeah, we can also compare it to Griffin. You're losing one attack, 9 health is what you get, and then you get this force field effect. So it almost seems as good, if not better than Griffin. Unfortunate for Griffin that it got nerfed. Are there 9 attack? Oh my goodness. Are 0 costs? Oh no. Okay, so they basically just got rid of all of the aggro decks that you could ever make. Unfortunate. I mean, it's not so bad, but I mean, it's a pretty big nerf to aggro. All the 0 costs got nerfed? Or did all attacks get nerfed? No, just the 0 costs. Okay. That's unfortunate. Anyways, Astaroth. So yeah, we're chunkier than Griffin for 1 less attack. Um, and we have our effect. I think that's probably the best thing we can do. So Griffin wasn't really run because side jump cards are basically just spells that attack once, and then they control a little bit of space. Um, hmm. Interesting. So now it's a side jump card that attacks once, has this effect, which allows it to control more space. So already it does look better than Griffin. 1 less attack, control more space. But we have to think about the force field and obviously how you want to use it. So let me just open up the Epic Pen actually. Here's our grid, right? Okay, the cards are our grid as usual. And you've got your guy here. Oh, I'll use a different color. You've got your guy here. So you will never be able to push into these squares, the ones where you actually can attack. That is something quite important to note, obviously. So, yeah. What this can do is maybe like bodyguard for your king if your king is this. Then, something, I guess something in here wouldn't even get pushed anymore. But you could just have one. That's fine. It plays bodyguard for your king. It obviously would block attacks from this side, and then attacks from this side would get pushed down, which could be good. No card has knockback yet, right? I think that would be a pretty sick effect. Whatever. Um, hmm. Oh, I guess you could like force. But yeah, so pretty much it feels like okay. This effect, I mean, as we said, Griffin only really gets used in aggro decks just because it's like they're just spells that do damage once, right? Unless we have like a lot of force cards in our deck. Astaroth is in a similar boat where like he has a mandatory force for everything next to it, but that's hard to use defensively. Offensively, maybe we can do something. So if you're jumping, right, at turn end you'll move the enemy, but it's at turn end. So you can't like jump over and move him and then swing. Um, but something we can maybe do is take our weak cards. I'm thinking like something like this, sure. Or, I'm thinking Plasma Apparition is a fine idea. There's definitely this card is pretty good, but it doesn't quite do what I want. Even like Chimera though. Yeah, Chimera, Raiden, sure. Actually, Raiden is a great example too. So you take a card. This is your enemy. Actually, sorry, I'll do the enemy in red. This is your enemy. What you're gonna do is you're gonna have your whatever this card is called, the A. Let me oh shoot, Astaroth. Okay, so you've got your Astaroth right here, and you can't do that. He could never be there. Okay, so you've got. It doesn't really matter. Your Astaroth could be here, or it could be in your hand. But you've got a Chimera. You come in from afar and you swing. But this guy here, it could kill your Chimera, or you just don't want to take that kind of damage. So what you do is you drop this card and force this card away. Now, that puts obviously the card a nice move away from your Chimera, but also since you're controlling these squares, it makes it even harder for it to really approach. And in some cases that's really good. Plus, if it tries to come in here, which obviously would mean that your Chimera would hit it, you're pushing it back anyways. Another cool thing is he can't like go behind and then place a unit, because then at turn end it would be pushed, exposing it to the Chimera again. So you can kind of do cool plays like that where you like swing and then move to push, or swing and then place. And like placing this card to do a one move force is obviously better than, I don't know, some sort of warp. But you also have to think about the fact that you could place Chimera, place actually that oh, the other thing, I didn't think about this. This would happen, but this would also happen. So you're essentially creating one turn, or like one area of space in between your units. So if you have like a bug deck or an insect deck and you've only got like two, then that sets you up perfectly to be in range to attack again next turn without being attacked if this is like a one range person. So all things to consider. And actually you'd be able to redo the entire thing, because once you go down, then this guy can hop over here, thus pushing this way. And then he can hop over here. or sorry, hop over here, pushing this way. So that's kind of cool. But the other thing I was going to say was Knight's moves. So assuming like, cause he's basically like permanent force, right? And he doesn't die as quickly. So like a Psycho Fiend, you place it once, you force one thing once, and then he dies in some cases. And then in other cases, obviously, you keep him alive forever and it's OP. But this card, so if you have a lot of, like you're running like a force deck, honestly, let me just real quick add that. Because I think we can do some cool things with just like force themes. Obviously, you're running stuff like this card here. And, you know, you go in to swing at Azera. This is actually a perfect example. And you don't really want the enemy Azera to swing back for, I mean, this is a card where you kind of do, but, you know, let's say you're using a Griffin or something, or Raiden. Raiden's actually the better example. You're running Raiden, you swing. Obviously, if he swings back, you die. But you can place this thing, put it right here. That pushes this guy here. And now on his turn, he can't swing at anything. So, temporary one-turn pushes, pretty good. The other thing is it does push you back here. So we could maybe think about, oh shoot, exactly like what we can create between a Knight's move. So like, I guess we'll do these two. We can create a situation where if we drop the card here, we get a card here and here, which means that now we are 2 Knight's moves away, which is pretty good. And we can also very easily, and like this situation where cards are a Knight's move away, happens sometimes. In a force deck, it should happen often. But yeah, or with a Raiden, like it's not too difficult to get into a Knight's move sometimes. Um, so it's a somewhat reasonable situation to be talking about. Okay, so then obviously the other one is this, which should put you in the same position, 2 Knight's moves away. But what you can also do is just place it here, right? And now you're controlling this square, you're pushed up here, and then you're controlling this square again, as well as this square. And obviously this card, if it's a Knight's move card, is in a pretty bad spot. It's 2 Knight's moves away again. So pretty much that, everywhere you go is 2 Knight's moves away. You can also actually, I guess, place it 1 Knight's moves away, and then go here. But the problem is then obviously your card is going to get swung. But yeah, so we've got some pretty cool options, all for 0 mana on a chunky card. So I kind of like it. Actually, maybe that's not a bad idea. Like if you're a Knight's move away, you hit with your Raiden, you hit with your Azeroth thing? Astaroth. Then you get moved here, so he has to trade with the Astaroth. If he trades at all. That's not terrible. So anyways, I think it's a pretty neat card. I think it's like super cheap for a force effect. And yeah, like if you think about like comparing it to cards like Griffin, I mean, I haven't played in a little bit of time. It's possible that 0 cost cards are just bad now that they all have like no attack. Oh, they kept Skeleton. Oh, wait. No, I don't like that change. Oh, and Castle Knight got weakened too. Okay, anyways, 0 cost cards maybe suck now. Hard to say. More on that. Oh no. More on that in a little bit, I guess. But yeah, so I think when 0 cost cards lose all their attack, what's important is their effect, right? And now, this is a spell I might pay for. Well, pay a card, right? Like, obviously not mana. So, honestly, considering this card, I thought I was going into it, like, I was like, it's kind of okay. This is, like, given that attack, this is one of the highest attacking free cards, and one of the highest health free cards. with a pretty sexy effect. Like, I'm trying to find a card that I feel like this card has to power creep something. I guess it doesn't. But like, it's just beefier than Cerberus with a cool effect. It's yeah, that's all I really got. The other thing, and yeah, I'm sorry, this is long, but the last thing that we can do is do like wings, and then obviously if you're here and you use wings, you'll push him back, and that puts him in a place to hit, and that means that he has to move. And obviously he can't move here because you push him back. So like it lets you trade with cards that can move in enough to hit you, and it any single square, right? Like it doesn't matter what square. If you are here, they will get pushed. Oh shoot. They will get pushed into a square where wings can attack. So that's pretty sexy. Hmm. I wonder if a wings deck is legit actually. Like obviously wings is always good to use on your opponents, but like a deck where you use wings on your own cards too. And like, you know, like a deck with where you can use it on your own cards or your opponent's cards. I think that in card games that's really important is having two modes to your deck. Did Maneater get nerfed? I think not. Okay. Cool. So I think I've said everything I have to say. OP. Oh wait, no, I had one last point. We're also running this deck in an astral, or this card in an astral deck sometimes. Or I should say the astral typing benefits it because we have obviously Space Tempest, which is awesome astral card, has side jump. We have Deep Space, which Straight Line I think actually insanely benefits from this, just because you can kind of push it wherever you want at the end of a turn. Although I feel like Deep Space just got a buff to its HP. Maybe it was a nerf. But yeah, so like cards where like you want to be restoring, bouncing in and out of battle, it's pretty good to just push this card away a bit and put a tank in the way, and it pushes everyone away. Like it's a free disengage card, really. It can be at least. You know, if you've got two guys who are in a fight, you plop a card here. We talked about already. You've disengaged from a single move card. You can also swing diagonally with Deep Space. Plop the card here. Boom. You got a diagonal space between you. So that obviously is a good way to counter a lot of cards. Any like up, down, left, right cards, any jumpy cards. So many things can't move diagonally, right? And so creating one space of like, okay, specifically Knight's Move cards. I'm sorry, this is kind of long, but I think in-depth analysis of a card is good. So you've got your card here, right? And then this is, well, this is your card, this is your enemy's card. Now, normally, if you swung, they would move here. You can't hit them, and life just kind of sucks, doesn't it? Because then now they're ready to hit you. Now you get to play this dance where everyone's just running around. Instead, you drop this bad boy, and you put him right here as Astaroth, yeah. And then obviously this puts your cards at here and here. And now a Knight's Move is a place that your Death from Beyond can hit, right? So that's kind of sexy. That's like pretty good. Obviously he can retreat, but you're just gaining a lot of space. And yeah, so that's pretty cool. And then the final thing, obviously, is that in Astral you can be running Astral Network. I don't necessarily think it's OP, but basically, the idea of the Knights moves um, being popular in Astral, and the cool things you can do with diagonal flanks, especially on Knights move cards, and obviously this is also diagonal. Plus Luminary, you want to be able to force to change its color from like chessboard black and chessboard white. And I think there's a lot of like space controlling themes in Astral, which by the way is kind of a pretty good play on words. Like everything is kind of like Cosmos. It's the idea is it controls space. Nebulous, it controls space. The Omni Slash, hell, Psycho Fiend has Omni Slash. Astral Network, it's all about like if I own more space than you, then don't be in my space because I eat you. Mana Storm benefits the player who controls more space. Even Stardust Regent, it's just a control space around it card. Like everything about this whole theme controls space, right? So having Astaroth, who fits in that theme so well, and also benefits the cards that do that. Like we've got all the side jump cards. We've got the idea of like this guy wants to disengage and go back to his safe space. This card is like really like there's so many times in an Astral deck where you Psycho Fiend is just not quite cutting it, but Astaroth I think will do it. Like you're getting it for just so much cheaper. You can actually make copies of it with 1,000 eyes. In fact, you can also oh no just 1,000 eyes. Oh no yeah you can also use the seed thing to make copies. And having copies of this card can be nutty. I actually would like to do some tests on like if there's an order, because if I can place a card here and a card here, and then um no they have to be like a Knight's Move away. If I can place a card here and a card here, and then the enemy card is here, and then they go boom boom, that is sick. And then I think there's a lot of cool things we can do. Or even if I have a card here and a card here. No, that doesn't work. But yeah, I mean if I have it like here, here, then they go boom boom, boom? Question mark. So yeah, I have a lot of questions about like how it works with multiple copies. And I guess I could go ahead and test that, but that's for another video. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow morning. But yeah, so this card makes me kind of excited for Astral, not gonna lie. And I think I've just had a lot of time to think about this game. And I'm happy to make a lot of these decks. Maybe not in this order, but I might start with Astral now. Now I'll wait for all the Astaroths. So yeah, I'm really happy to do all this stuff, and I'm excited to see you guys again. I hope you're excited for me too. One last thing I was gonna do is when the new set drops, if it ever drops, I don't know the time frame. I'm saving up coins, so I'll just spend all my coins on the new set, and I'll like open all the packs, and I'll do less like not as big of a breakdown, but I'll talk about how good all the cards are and do some theory crafting. So yeah, until then, I'll get through making a deck for every sort of region, and I'll do a similarly in-depth binding and rejuve pill review, even though I'm sure you guys have played with them a little bit before. So yeah, I hope you like this, and I'll see you next time I make a video.